Hey guys. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Q&A. I went through and have a good amount of questions, but I decided that I'm gonna give you guys 5 facts or things that you guys don't know about me as well. And I'm so sorry if I forget anybody. The questions were kind of spread out through different vlogs and comment threads, so I tried to backtrack and like find them, but if I forget, I'll answer it independently or individually. So yeah. Okay, so Melissa, you ask, how old am I? I am 29. This is my last year in my 20s, and I will be 30 in December. My husband is 30, and he will be 31 in December as well. And you also ask if we want more kids. So I actually used to want a really big family, like between 4 and 6 children, and just a lot. That has drastically changed, mainly due to the fact that, you know, my husband, he didn't want to have a big family, and 3 is big to him. 3 is more than he ever dreamed he would have. And yeah, we just haven't had the type of, I mean, we've had great family support, but you know, we don't have like a strong family network of like people. And back in the day, it's been a weird dynamic of like not being close by my sister and my mom, and you know, everybody spread out, so it was a lot of pressure just on us as parents, and primarily me doing all this stuff. So it's made me rethink. So no, we do not want any more kids, and we are happy with 3. You know, we've talked about possibly adopting in the future, but I honestly don't know if I'd even want to do that now, but maybe. We'll see. I mean, obviously we'll have to be more financially stable, hopefully in our own place or a bigger place. So yeah, so no more kids. Life on 98. You ask how long have we lived in Washington. So we moved here in October, so, well, midway through, so what, 6 months? But I actually lived in Puyallup for a few years. Let's see, I think 4 years. I lived in Federal Way for a little while. I lived in Ording for a very brief time period. So those are all cities here in Washington. So I lived in Washington through high school, and then moved down to California. My graduation high school stuff was just dramatic and sad. But yeah, I ended up moving down to California my senior year, and that's when I met my husband, and da-da-da-da-da. And so anyways, I've always wanted to come back, and once everything happened last year, you know, it was a good opportunity for us to come up as a family, and we all are really liking it. I love it up here. I love the seasons. I don't feel like there's an extreme weather, you know, difference. Like, there's a summer, and it doesn't last too long because I don't do really well on heat. And the winter is, you know, it's cold, but it's not like too much to handle. So I absolutely love it here. It's my favorite place. I think I could stay here for the rest of my life and be happy. Betty, you ask, what food do I refuse to eat? I would consider myself like a moderate texture eater. So there's some things that I just can't do. Mushrooms are one of them. I just don't like the texture, the taste. I don't know. Ugh. So that is one I just, no. And then one thing I've never tried, but it's the same thing. It's a texture, the thought, is oysters. or anything slimy like that. It's just, oh my god, it makes me feel like throwing up just thinking about it. Those are two things that I just won't eat. I'm sure there's more. I don't like tomatoes, and that's a texture thing too, like the pop and squirt. Ugh. Okay, so favorite TV show that I like right now. So I've actually watched a lot of shows. I guess my current ongoing one is Game of Thrones. I've watched it since it started. We are obsessed with it. We love it. My husband read the books, so yeah, we love it. An ongoing show that I've always loved. I actually just finished Friends, and I watched them from the beginning to the end. Loved it. Very good, obviously. But I love Grey's Anatomy and Sex and the City are just classic. Like, I love to watch. But yeah, I like a lot of shows. I like watching like true crime TV shows and Criminal Minds, and I also really enjoy like guilty pleasure, totally like embarrassing, but I like watching the Kardashians. I like watching Teen Mom and those shows as well. So I don't know, I like watching everything. I have a wide variety of like interests. So yeah, let's see. And then you also asked my favorite ice cream. So let's see, if I want to be standard, I like strawberry ice cream, but not with chunks in it. Or, okay, pretty much my all-time favorite that I usually almost always get is like the Butterfinger type that has like chunks of Butterfinger, or like Snickers or something like that, but I like chocolate and peanut butter. Or like strawberry cheesecake type with like the chunks. I don't know, I really like having chunks of like something in it. The strawberry cheesecake would be like the graham cracker and like softer type of strawberry like jam. I don't know. And then coffee ice cream is like amazing. So, but yeah, I like them all, but yeah, usually it's the Butterfinger that I get more often than not. Sean Teasy, what kind of coffee do I use in my Keurig? So I like the medium, well-balanced type flavor. I'm not very particular on the exact brand, but I have been trying to buy the organic fair trade brand from my store, and I want to say it's a Simple Truth that they sell. I don't know. Anyways, and that's just a standard flavor. I can't do really, really dark. I think it's too strong for me. But the medium, like mellow, not too mellow, like the medium. Yeah, that's what I like. Okay, so I am going to slaughter this name again, so I'm just gonna give you a nickname. Chem Star. I know you told me how to pronounce it, and I can't. My brain doesn't have long-term memory, apparently. You asked how long have we had our dog, and we have had him since he was a puppy. We wanted a dog for a very long time and did a lot of research, and I was totally all about getting a dog from a shelter, but that comes with a lot of risks that we didn't want to take. My main one was, you know, usually you're not going to get a puppy at a shelter, and it also is scary to me to think that, you know, we don't know the temperament and if the dog would be aggressive and what sensitivities and what type of, like, what the breed is specifically, and you just have to be so careful with all of that when you have kids. So I looked, I didn't find anything. Most of them are Chihuahuas, which for the most part are pretty aggressive towards children, and they also bark a lot. So, and we didn't really want like a tiny dog, but since we usually have lived in apartments, we needed to have a small dog, so we had to find the balance. So anyways, we ended up realizing to have mini Australian Shepherds, and that's when I found a breeder that was down in California, and she had a new litter, got my puppy, got him when he was 8 weeks old, and he's amazing. Love him. He just had his 2nd birthday, so he's still little, but he's already starting to act a little bit older, like sleeps a lot, and he's just such a great dog. I love him. Okay, let's see. The people call it crazy person. You asked, how do I stay sane? Well, I don't. But what I try to do is, I used to be a lot more uptight, which I still am, but I used to be more intense and more controlling and have these like things, and I would have meltdowns in moments that I just couldn't. So I've really had to work on letting my expectations go and not letting the little things bother me. So I don't know. The dynamics with my kids are in a transitional stage since we moved, and my daughter's like hitting a hormone preteen already, and she's not even a preteen, so it's difficult to find the balance and to make sure we're teaching her the right values, but we're also letting her express herself. And I don't know, it's a never-ending thing, but I don't know, I stay sane by letting the little things go, and I try to do what makes me happy, and what makes me happy is cooking. I love to bake, I love to cook, I like to clean, I like to watch shows. Like, I try to remember to like do things that'll make me happy, you know, so just try to slowly do that throughout the day, and I'm so fortunate that I'm home that I'm able to do that. But yeah, so just taking time to do things for myself, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I drink wine and coffee. That helps me stay sane too. Let's see. Amber, you ask, what is my favorite food to eat? So I love to eat just everything. I love food. My favorite food right now, I've really been enjoying hummus and pretzel crisp cracker chips, whatever those are, together. That's like one of my favorite healthy snacks to eat. I love to eat chocolate covered almonds right now, which is weird because I used to really dislike nuts, except for like peanuts and cashews, but I've really been trying to like push myself to eat healthier and like expand my taste buds and use like walnuts and pecans and all those nuts and almonds. So I've learned to appreciate almonds, and yeah, so I enjoy that. I love baked goods, pastries, anything bready, I'm there. So basically all of that. I love croissants, love muffins, and just love it. Life is too short not to eat that stuff. I don't care if it's giving me a muffin top, because I just love pastry stuff. My favorite meal to cook for the family, I would have to say, would be spaghetti. It's super easy, feeds a lot of people, and I absolutely love spaghetti, and I make it pretty good. We also like to do taco salad a lot, and we do like enchiladas. I haven't made that in a while, but yeah, those would be like the top ones, but spaghetti is my all-time favorite. Let's see, Viara Rose, I believe that's how you say it. I do not have a website. You ask if I have a website. I do have a Facebook. I just haven't been sure if I wanted to share it with the public yet. It seems stupid because I'm already filming myself and like sharing everything that I do and whatever. So I mean, what would be the difference? I don't know how I feel about opening that up though and like sharing that. So I do have a Facebook, but it is not public. So I do not have a cleaning schedule. I clean on demand. So if something looks messy, I basically will choose what's most important. So like the bathroom's really bad, or I know it's been a while, I'll clean it. Kitchen's like all day, multiple times a day, so that just happens. Like the bedding, laundry, all of that just kind of circulates and happens regularly. Like it's just, I kind of just keep track and do it when it needs to be done. That being said, I know on the weekends I have more free time and time to put my time into cleaning, so I will probably do more intense, like deep cleaning on the weekends, but that can happen during the week too, so I don't have any set days for that. My kids do have chores. My oldest, sorry, you ask, do my kids have chores? Yes, they do. My oldest has been given her chore chart. We're starting to give her allowance. However, she's been struggling to keep up with all of her. Hey, this camera does not record longer than 20 minutes apparently. Okay, so yes, my daughter has chores. She has a chore chart. I expect my kids to keep up with certain things, but it's me constantly keeping up after them. My youngest, you know, basic stuff is, and she really likes to help me unload groceries and stuff like that. I have her pick up her stuff, especially like her toys, and you know, assisting doing stuff, but you know, she's very young still, and I'm already having a hard enough time keeping up with my older ones. So anyways, but yeah, my son, you know, he's responsible to keep his room clean, and that is like an all day, every day, constant reminder. I mean, so anyways, that's why it's dirty a lot when you see it, because it's just, he has very short-term memory. And then, you know, she's very good and helpful with cleaning when she wants to be, so that's fun. A few of you have asked me about prepping dinners. I have totally thought about that. I know my sister does it, and I would imagine it would be helpful, but I don't have the patience to do that. I don't know why, but it just sounds so daunting and annoying to do. And also, I have very picky eaters, and we don't all like the same things some nights. So anyways, each day we kind of will talk, like I'll come up with like a meal plan for the week sometimes, but you know, each day I'll be like, are you guys in the mood for spaghetti, or would you rather have taco salad, or do you want to do Thai food, or you know, like we kind of just assess how we feel that day. I don't know, it's difficult, and I know my husband's very picky, so ultimately we just kind of have to figure it out as we go. Katrina, you asked how many rooms I have in my apartment. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We actually have always been in a 2-bedroom, and we finally, when we moved here, got into a 3-bedroom because it's cheaper here, which is amazing, because having all of my children in one room was just a nightmare, and there was no room for them to play. So I'm very happy with this. But yeah, we still would like to have a house that has like a bigger living room space, and where we're not directly over somebody. I feel so bad for my neighbor downstairs, because the kids are kids. They're loud on the floor, and I feel like all day it's constantly, shh, don't stomp on the floor. So anyways, I'm hoping, our lease is actually up in October, so I'm hoping that we may get lucky and be able to find like a single family home that we could rent. And I mean, that would just be ideal, to have a place that has like a backyard that I can let the kids outside and play and not have to worry. Like right now it's stressing me out, you know, the kids run around and play outside, but there's cars zooming by, and there's, you know, it's not like an enclosed yard. And the same goes for our dog. Like, we can't just like get out and let him out the back door. We have to get dressed, go outside with him, and it would just be really nice to have our own little yard. But yeah, okay, so lastly, 5 things I wanted to tell you guys about me. So I have had 8 piercings in my life, but I only have my ears pierced now. I've taken all of my other ones out for various different reasons. It's annoying to me because some of them I wish I still had, but whatever. Steven is actually my first boyfriend that I've ever had. I met him when I was a senior, and we have been together since. Haven't been with anybody else. Well, that's a fun fact. It's nice that I always thought it would be a romantic idea to have like your first love be the one you're with for the rest of your life, and so far we're good. I am, and I mean, maybe this is obvious, maybe it's not, but I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am a very vulnerable person. I like to have, like, I used to wish that I could present my emotions and who I am, like, just have it out there so people would know. They wouldn't be guessing what's going on or wondering why I'm like this or that. Like, I don't like not knowing, and I love details about things and people, and I want them to know that about me. So I like that about myself. But yeah, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I care deeply about things, and yeah, I'm empathetic, I guess. My dream job would be to be a counselor or a therapist, because I love talking to people about their problems. I like to know details, and Aria's trying to come in. Yeah, but that's something, if I had all the time and money, I would go to school and get that job, but that's not gonna happen. So maybe I could do a YouTube channel where people come to me with their problems, and I could be a virtual counselor. And the last fact is, I like to know intimate, personal details about people. You can call that nosy, you can call that whatever you want, but I feel like, and that kind of ties into the whole counselor thing. I've always liked to talk to people about their problems and like help them, and I feel so honored when people take the time to want to share things with me. And I've found that even without somebody knowing me personally and knowing these facts about me, a lot of times people will come to me with their problems, or they like open up to me like randomly and just start talking to me about things that are going on in their life and like sharing with me. And I feel so honored to be, you know, those are things not a lot of people have the space for. They don't know how to handle information or be supportive or whatever. So anyways, that's something that I treasure. I love intimate conversations and intimate details and knowing things, and yeah, so there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed my Q&A, and I'll be probably doing this as an individual video and do a different upload for my vlog. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend and a happy Easter, and thank you so much for all taking the time to watch my vlogs and to ask me questions, want to get to know me better. Yeah, I really appreciate the relationships I've built. Even though they're only virtual, it's still really sweet, and I really enjoy it. So thank you guys.